Alright, welcome to another edition of the FantasyFix.com podcast. I'm your host, Brett Talley, and we're here to talk daily fantasy strategy for August 26, 2014 on DraftKings. Starting with the weather, as always, really only one game with a seriously concerning chance of rain, as the Yankees at the Tigers. 70% chance of thunderstorms at game time. That will decrease afterwards, but a chance of rain remains throughout the night as of this recording. So I would avoid pitchers there, which isn't a huge issue because I'm not touching Brandon McCarthy against the Tigers. And then Rick Porcello going for the Tigers against the Yankees. Not a terrible matchup, but don't love it. And so certainly with the chance of rain delays there, I'm staying away from the pitchers there. Only other weather thing that pops up, it's going to be pretty warm in Kansas City at game time, 90 degrees. But Kansas City not exactly a great park. That said, I could see some, I might try to get Alex Gordon in a lineup somewhere. And then I ended up with a random twin stack somewhere. I forget who it was. I know. I wanted to use Eduardo Escobar against Danny Duffy's a lefty. Escobar, cheap shortstop against lefty pitching, hits right-handed. So I think I have like Suzuki and Eduardo Escobar somewhere. But other than that, really no weather concerns for the day. Starting pitchers today, as always, take the steamer projections, cut them down per game basis, adjust for opponent, compare to cost, and see where the value is. As always, when he's pitching, Alex Wood comes out at the best value of the day. Steamer loves Wood. Steamer loves Wood. Steamer loves Alex Wood. He's been quite good this year, especially lately, it would seem. So, like him just fine against the Mets. He's probably my play of the day. Also, in terms of value, Wood's like $8,200. It's not like he's super cheap, but still think that's a good price. Also think Jose Quintana is a decent price at $8,000 against Cleveland, who is as bad against left-handed pitching as they are good against right-handed. So they're really not scary against left-handed pitching. Quintana is pretty solid, so I like him. If I was going to spend money, I would spend it on Johnny Cueto if you got it against the Cubs, but he's over 11 grand. Cubs a great matchup, but I understand if you don't have 11 grand to put a pitcher in your lineup. If I was going to spend money elsewhere, I'd probably go with Gio Gonzalez at 8,800 against the Phillies, as opposed to guys like Madison Bumgarner against the Rockies or Alex Cobb against the Orioles. Even though the Orioles aren't a super scary matchup, I think Gio is the guy I like there if I'm going to need to spend some money and can't afford Cueto. If I had to save money, pretty hard today. I just don't like a lot of cheap pitching options. Not that there are that many. But Jason Hamill at 7,400 against the Astros, I could go with. I could see Jimmy Nelson at 7,000 against the Padres. But that's really about as cheap as I could manage to go on the pitching today. Which was sort of a problem because there were some high-priced stacks that I liked. That's sort of why I ended up with the Eduardo Escobar Kurt Suzuki stack. I ended up with a Pirate stack somewhere because Travis Snyder's only 3,000. They're facing a righty today. Neil Walker also hits righties well. Threw McCutchen in there. That should be 2, 3, 4 in that lineup against a righty. That saved me a little money. And then, the other, I have 3 lineups made at this point. The other one I had a bunch of high-priced hitters in there, and I went with Hamill and Quintana, and that cost me what, $15,400 for those 2 pitchers. So it's about as cheap as you can go on pitching today. Stacks. I like the Mariners against Miles Mikolas. Mikolas is by far the worst projected pitcher in my rankings today. So I like Cano and Seager there, the lefties, against the righty, and then I'd probably pair them with Ackley and Morales. And that should be, the middle of that lineup, and all guys hitting from the left side against Mikolas, even though they're in Seattle. Let's see. Also like the Blue Jays. They sort of got that lineup healthy. That lineup that was mashing righties at the beginning of the year. They still are. They're still 11% better than average against righties for the year. they kind of got all their lefties back. So they've got Reyes, Melky, Bautista, E5, Lind, and Rasmus. You can't play Lind and E5 in the same lineup since they're both only first base eligible, but you can find a nice 4 or 5 man stack there. And then, like I said, if you need to save a little money, Twins and Pirates stacks. So Mariners and Blue Jays, if you got the money. Could also see the Dodgers, by the way. I like them as an expensive stack. And then Twins and Pirates if you got to save a little money. And then pitching, Wood, Quintana, mid-priced, Gio and Cueto, expensive, and Hamill and Nelson if you need to get a little cheaper. So good luck tomorrow, and I'll talk to y'all next week.